Corporation t-shirts, stupid bloody Tuesday night. You better naughty boy, you let your face grow long. I am the Eggman, they are the Eggmen. I am the walrus, Joe, Mr. City policeman sitting pretty little policeman in a row.
All right, and we are live. How's everybody doing, guys? How you guys doing? You guys are unmuted now. Wait, can I not hear you yet? Wait, hold on, guys. All right, can I hear you? I'm not hearing anybody. Oh, major disaster. This is what happens when you do a mute and then you do an unmute. Great. All right.
All right,
Now we got you. Okay. Wow.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah.
You got to unmute yourself. But in the meantime, Joey, what's happening?
There we go.
There you go. You got me now?
Yeah, I had to do it all automatically myself.
Okay. All right. Yep.
There we go.
There we go. Oof. All right. I won't do that one again.
Lenny,
We'll just tell everybody shut up until it's time for the show. Anyway, welcome to last day in May. Musings, Rants, and Guitars. The opening was Helter Skelter. It's a Beatles new. It's an awesome way of listening to the Beatles. Great versions. Both our guests, Steve and Les, are in the band, and it's great to have you guys on. You and I, we've done gigs together. Had a great time watching you guys, and then usually I've been going on much later than you guys can stick around for, but I know one day you're gonna stick around and watch me. So it's great to have you guys here, by the way.
Hey, Joe.
Thanks for having us.
You got it. So, well, let's start. Let's say hi to Lenny, who's in.
Hey, Len.
All right, and Tommy's up in the top left corner. All right, and we got
Folks.
Steve in the top right. I'm in the center. Somehow I always manage to get myself in the center, and I don't
Man.
plan it that way. I do not plan it that way. And Les is down in the Brady Bunch, where Cindy usually is. I'm just kidding.
He looks like Cindy.
Yeah. So you guys are great musicians. I've gotten to watch you guys. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Lenny's muted.
Oh,
Steve, go ahead.
Lenny, you gotta
Lenny, you gotta unmute yourself.
Yeah. He's looking.
There we go.
Almost. He's getting there. Well, meanwhile, let's say.
Okay.
So, Steve.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing guitar?
First, I play drums.
Okay.
And I sing a little bit. And then when I was about 15, 16, it was hard to sing and play drums, so I started playing the guitar. So it's been a while, so.
Right. And you're like 27 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like 12 years.
It's ladies and gentlemen, Steve on lead guitar, that's what it is.
Yeah, I always kid about that too. So,
That's it.
can we hear you now, Len? Still can't hear Lenny.
I still mute it.
Can you try and unmute him, Joey?
I don't think I can. I can't unmute him.
Up on top, Len.
All right. Meanwhile, I'll go down to Les, and we'll talk real quick. Les, I happen to know that you went to Five Towns, right? So how long were you into playing bass?
I messed around since I was 8 years old, but really didn't start the band stuff till about 12, 13 and stuff.
Yep.
I was actually fortunate to be introduced real early because my father was a working musician, had a couple of record, the deals back way when the doo-wop stuff. And when Chuck Berry came in town, it was a time that he used just the local session guys. So they'd call him up and his friend, hey, I'm playing Malibu, can you play, whatever, 145. So he'd come around town, give him a couple of dollars, and he's like the session guy. So
wow.
Yeah.
So he
Very cool.
he pushed me into it. And every time I come home from school, the band be playing in the living room, and he had a Hofner bass. So I would pick it up and I would start plucking on the E string because that was only a 27-inch scale bass. So it was easy to play then. And then I used to put on Stevie Wonder, Living in the City. It was easy, just hit the E string. So I got hooked.
Right.
Precursor to Running with the Devil, you know?
Yeah, exactly, right?
As far as the Five Towns thing, I mean, I know if you'd win there, you had to have Joe Carbone, and he scarred me for life.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you definitely have a lot of fear. A lot of fear.
I was just thinking when Les was telling our story, this year, October, Halloween Day this year, ready for this, is 40 years of working in the music business.
Wow,
40.
No kidding.
It's because I know I started on Halloween 1980, and that was 2020.
Wow.
30 years on 48th Street.
Wow.
And then several years, an interest in the D'Angelico company, little partner there. And now 2 years and change with VP Michael Kelly. Man,
Wow.
it's a long time. I was just thinking about that.
So is that where you started on 48th Street?
Yeah, it's a pretty funny story. I was going to college, majoring in music too, like Les. And in the summers, we used to play Jersey Shore, because I grew up in Brooklyn, so we were more the Lamore's crowd. You guys were more the Hammerheads crowd, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I did a lot of gigs at Lamore's, so.
Yes, you know the deal.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was injured. I had my nose broken, and we couldn't play, because I was all bandaged up and I couldn't go back to school. So my mom, my best friend, I miss her so in heaven, she said, listen, till college starts, why don't you go to work on 48th Street, the big music? I go, they're not going to want to hire me. They like college boys like you. Go down there. I went down there and I got the job, and I was at Sam Ash, like basically 48th Street for 30 years, almost to the day. I sold guitars to everybody from Richie that we talked about to Baxter, Steve Miller, everybody, and I really enjoyed it, and it put me right in the heart of the business,
Right. Awesome.
No one sold more guitars than me,
Right. Now, didn't you win like an award for selling maybe Stratocasters? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot
Yeah, we
of
can
them.
hear you, Len.
Hey, good.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I had, Sam Ash gave me an award. Back in 2000, for 1 year, I sold close to $6 million myself. 1 year. So every year I sold 5-6 million. Yeah. I sold a lot of guitars, and I made a worldwide clientele, and I really enjoyed Sam Ash. We were rocking, and 48th Street was the place to go. Time,
Yeah.
And I was there.
Oh, yeah.
My whole life, every day of my life, I've worked with guitars behind me on the wall. Every day for 40 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
That is great. Awesome. So, where did you two meet each other? You guys have been working together for a while now, right?
Pretty much. It's I can start the story and Steve can finish it.
Okay.
It's a real interesting story, and it is related to music. I was an artist from another company, and at the time, Steve's significant other, Christine, was single at the time a while ago, and my wife turned into the wingman. So I lost my wife for like 6 months, going out every weekend, keeping her occupied and stuff. So to make a long story short, there was one gig that 45 RPM was playing, and Steve was standing in the corner, and he had a jacket that had the company that I was endorsed with. And it's a company that's like, they have boutique basses. So it's very rare. So she walks up to him, and she says hi, whatever, Les Jansson, he plays those basses. And then, Steve is polite back when he replies back and talks. And then he sees Christine there, his significant, his fiance, actually, to be more correct. And then he jumps in and immediately says, what?
Oh, well, what happened is, so I said, you single? Yeah. And then Les's wife says, maybe my husband and I had known Les, but we didn't really meet. And then I said to her, she says, are you in music business? So I said, well, yeah. At that time, I was D'Angelico, but I said I worked with Sam Ash like my whole life, and as fate would have it, her son-in-law works at Sam Ash, John Henney on Route 110. So Peggy and Les went to John. Do you know this guy Steve? And John goes, Steve's a great guy. Everybody knows that. And they kind of did the matchmaking.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
I have a lot of jackets. I have like my father used to say, if you didn't have that job, you have no clothes.
I bet.
So me and my wife are like a matchmaker, I guess.
Yeah.
Too.
And then I stole Les away as one of my endorsees instead of the other company. You know?
Right. Yeah. Well,
He swayed me.
Yeah. Well, great player, and he's got the perfect rock and roll look too, right? You know?
And he knows the brand. He knows the product. You know, and
Yeah.
I know guitars and basses, but I'm smart enough to know. Like, I'm working on a 12-string acoustic project now with Randy Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And who better than him, right? And we have a beautiful...
Absolutely right,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's the guy for an acoustic 12-string right there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have Les with the basses. And I spoke to Jeff Baxter, Doobie Brothers, and I go, okay, we gotta do a Baxter caster. And he goes, okay, after the virus.
Okay.
Wow, that's very
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Good stuff
so...
to hear. Excellent.
Yeah, I was happy when Steve made the move over to Michael Kelly, and that's a whole. He can talk about how that started, because the other company he was with, we were trying to do something with the basses, and it was tough. There was too many clogs in the system and stuff. But now going Michael Kelly, it was perfect for me. It was an open window. They were strong on the guitar end, but really weak on the bass end when they took it over, and they had to elevate it. And here I am. So he says, "Come on aboard."
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Complete freedom to create.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the beautiful thing is, I'm the decision maker. I'm vice president, managing director. So there's not layers of like the big companies. You have to talk to the product guy, the finance guy, the marketing team before you can even get things rolling. With me on the phone with the factories every night, I can get a prototype going. I go direct. And when we do these basses, it's a great growth avenue for us, and we're so excited about the new ones that we have coming.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
I do have I don't know if you guys are watching on your phones too. It's kind of hard to watch what we're doing and what I'm doing in the back end. I do have the Michael Kelly site up and
Oh, cool.
us up at the same time. But let's talk about a little bit, Steve, about like what are you guys offering over Michael Kelly?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm excited to be with Michael Kelly now. It's almost 3 years. Even during this health crisis, we had two of our biggest months since we started the company. It's amazing. The thing about Michael Kelly is we offer tremendous value and quality for an affordable price. We have the different features of the instruments with the special switching, the special pickups that we use is really outstanding. And nowadays, especially when I have the relationships I have with the factories, our quality control is spectacular. And I'm a player like Tom, like you, Joey, like Les. And if I play, I'm not a corporate guy sitting in an office,
No, absolutely.
making decisions that way, So
Right,
it's been spectacular,
Yeah, I tell you, like I've been looking at your tellies for a while. I'm a I love Les Pauls, but I'm a telly guy, and man, the finishes you have on these are just fucking killing me, man.
Yeah.
Which one am I gonna buy next? Because this is
well, maybe we can hook you up. Don't worry, we'll hook you up.
That's these are beautiful looking guitars, man. Really.
Yeah, check out the open pour. We just Steve, is Michael Kelly doing the two-tone open pour like the bass?
The two-tone open pour, yeah, it's a telly of that. It's a 53 OP. And it's
Okay.
Because I have the two-tone open pour bass, the proto that is going to be going out, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, these are absolutely beautiful looking. So
it's interesting, Joey. Right now, because of the virus, everyone, we're all suffering, and we're all pitching in to work and do what we need to do.
Yeah.
Of course, our staff, is some of them on furlough. We had to do, and showrooms not open, stores are not open. So I've been jumping in, helping with a lot of the customer service calls, because we're all chipping and helping. So I get on these calls, and I'm so blown away by the wonderful calls and emails I'm getting.
Really?
Quality. They go on, and then when I email them back, they get emailed by like a corporate, guy, and then they look me up and they see like I'm a guy like us, like a rock guy.
Yeah, just another rock guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm so happy with the customer feedback. That's what it's all about, because we're all guitar players. And about Michael Kelly, something else I noticed too. Don't forget, my history is selling guitars. Sammy Ash will sell. If he was on this phone call, he would tell you, no one guy sells as many guitars as I have. Because no one guy usually ends up just in a music store that long. Usually you become a manager, district manager, supervisor, but I'm just so good at selling. It suits me, it fits me. So I was just there, front lines, 30 years, handing guitars to people. Wow. So the thing I love about our guitars, the Michael Kelly, is people might have a Fender, Gibson, they might have a Rickenbacker, they might have an Ibanez, but there's room for Michael Kelly, because our different pickup configurations, of course, the quality of the woods, and it's been great because we have a guitar that people like to add to their collection of guitars.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Very cool.
I'd say the line is just as good, if not better, than most of them out there. Whether it's it's definitely like a competible.
Yeah.
And for the pricing, it just makes it that much more better.
Absolutely. We just closed the deal with a major online platform to sell the guitars July 1st. So I can't say it until the big announcement comes. But I did that this week. My team and I did a great job, and it's a major online platform to sell the guitars. They took the whole line of guitars, so we're really excited.
That's
Congratulations
on that.
Thank you.
That's great.
July 1st. I can't spill the beans, but you'll see it.
Yeah, awesome.
That's good. It's good.
And one other thing, we're in 104 countries. We got them in now too.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
wow.
You kind of hit on, talking about you had to furlough some people, and that's that's because you're a manufacturer, right, and
right.
retailer. So you can't have a lot of people there. But how are you doing with sales during this, with this isolation and everything else? I was wondering about that.
Here's what we did. When we saw this coming, first of all, like I said, we had a business trip to the factories. I go twice a year to personally go there and design the guitars, inspect them. Mm-hmm. Our team, we go down there. Sometimes I go myself, sometimes with our team. And when we saw this thing coming, I canceled my trip. Then we took a look with our team, and what we decided to do is to help people is we put together a series of promos. Another one is starting, one just ended, another one starting on June 15th. And we take different sectors, acoustic, bass, the entry-level pricing, the tellies, the 50s.
Yep.
So what we did is I set up with my team a series of promos so people can get a little break on the guitar of their dreams that they always wanted.
Yeah.
And it's been spectacular because not only are we moving so many guitars, we're offering the customers who might be having a little difficult time now an opportunity to get the Michael Kelly they always wanted at a very attractive price. And we've had a couple, we call it DTC, direct to custom consumer.
Yeah.
We had our two biggest DTC months, the last 2 months, in the top 4 since we've been doing this. It's been amazing.
Wow.
I got to tell you, it's been amazing. We're
really
so
and nobody's doing that.
well, yeah, and I'm glad we're doing it now. We have around 72 what we call indie dealers. These are like the ones we have on Long Island, the smaller 1 or 2 store type places. Mm-hmm. So I've been speaking to them, constantly, and the ones who were a little proactive with their online presence and had a little visionary and had some foundation, they're having some of their biggest sale weeks. Unfortunately, the people who never paid too much attention to that, who maybe made their money with lessons and things, they're hurting a little bit, So
right.
On the Michael Kelly side of things, we're very, very encouraged, and we're very happy that not only that we're selling a lot of guitars, but we're helping our customers with some of these promo deals and stuff, you know?
Right.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
It's a great idea, and it gets them in the hands of instruments. I mean, people have time right now. I know a lot of people are woodshedding, and if you have the opportunity to get the guitar you want, that just makes it so much better, right?
Tommy, you are on it. I got an email from a guy. I want to get a 5-string acoustic bass, like less 5-string. And so I write him back. I go, okay. He goes, I'm a teacher. He goes, I'm working from home, but I'm not commuting anymore. And I always wanted to play bass. Then you know what? I'm going to make it a 5-string bass. So he bought the acoustic, you know. And he wrote me back, and he said, this is difficult, but I'm really enjoying it, you know. So I sent him a hat, and everybody's happy. But I get a lot of that. People.
That's really. I mean, it's great. I mean, we've been talking to people who have been, locked down and stuff, and even talking to friends. They've been working on music they haven't worked on before, right? So I mean, they have a little bit of time. I've been working on some strange jazz stuff, believe it or not, and it's just amazing that you have the opportunity now where you're not, as good or bad it is, you're not throwing all your gear into a car, driving an hour, doing a gig, and coming home. Where you're not really spending some of the time on the music side of it, and you have the opportunity now, and you've extended this to your clients. Get a great instrument, be home, play, and we'll see you when this is over. It's
right. Guys like Randy Jackson, he does, just about every day he does one of his acoustic shows.
Yeah.
He's like 12-string,
Yeah.
exclusively, and it's his signature model. He helped me design it. It's been spectacular. Stanton Anderson Band, Tommy, the guitar player, called me a couple of weeks ago. We're doing a little online thing. I need something for slide. He's one of our artists. We hooked him up a little bit, gave him, got him a guitar, and he set up for the slide, and he played.
Awesome.
So I've been really proactive getting it in the guys who could reach a lot of people, because one of the things, our goal this year was artist endorsement, to start really, tackling that area of our social media.
Awesome. Very
Great.
good.
great.
So we got a little pre-chat. So Steve was talking about Les has you guys have new bass. Yeah, just give it 1 second. I'm gonna restart the streaming software. This just happened really quick.
All right, we ain't going nowhere.
Just exactly like that, man. Honestly, it was the same thing when I walked in and saw, bought this Les Paul when I wanted just, something that already had a big chunk out of it.
That's a nice guitar.
Okay, yeah, we're back live. Okay, we're good. Sorry about
All
that,
right.
guys.
All right,
Yeah.
so here it is.
All right, let's see it.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that is beautiful.
And if you want to know the road to a final product,
Yes.
I'll show you the beginning product. well, actually, it's the second. The beginning product got destroyed, and I'll tell you the story because this is what we do at Michael Kelly.
Okay.
This is second prototype because the pickups are wrong and the preamp was all messed up. So and the neck wasn't right. So we just said it ain't going out. What happened is
Very cool, though.
the first prototype had the pickups like really in a funky position. Mm-hmm. So what we did was we had this guy on Long Island, Lutheran. He routed out the whole center, and we just took the pickups and just like, okay, move there, move there, move there. And we got the perfect spot. Boom, measured it, sent it to the factory, and said we want them there. But they forgot to look at the measurements, and they sent that one back. So we said no.
Right.
So,
Wow.
And that's another point that me and Steve run across. There's a lot of times where Steve was saying that there's levels to the companies that, stuff comes in, they look at it, and, we run around NAMM, when we get a couple of minutes from the booth to look at stuff, and we're like, I can't believe they're putting that out. I can't believe they're putting this product out. We're looking at the middle line stuff. For example, if that prototype came in and ordered at a company, they would have put that out. It would have came in, they would have put it out. we're like, we're not doing it unless it's going to be right. So I've had this I've had it during the whole pandemic thing, and it was great to have it. But even before we had it, we did some customized stuff to the neck to get a good angle. I took the bridge out, and there was a certain height that we had to get. It was very strategic to get the bridge height, the neck angle, and the pickup placements. So this bass over here is, Steve, what's the final? It was 9.
Cost $8.99.
Yeah, $8.99, 5-string. And what it has in it, it has two large pickups, double coil, which has switches on it over here, which can go single coil or double coil. 3-band EQ, passive or electric. So if the battery dies, pull passive, you just use the EQ. It still sounds fine. The blend back and forth. This bridge over here is not only you can do the action, but you can also adjust it side by side, which is perfect. Wow. And then we have the battery box. And, if you get like these inexpensive basses, and even the Highline basses, I have a bass at $5,000, and they put the battery over here flopping around.
Yeah.
So we have a nice battery box over there, 5-piece neck. Even the top, they even put like the nice little burl on the top. Yeah. So it's a burl top, swamp ash body, and for the price, it's gonna sound amazing. Neck through, 34-inch scale. Wow. And what we did with the neck was on one of my Highline basses, we took and we spec'd out the whole neck, the curve, the thickness, and everything on it. So it's my neck I've been playing with the other basses for the last 15 years.
Wow.
One other thing. Let's show them how you adjust the truss rod.
Oh yeah, he keeps reminding me on that. So in here, there's a little wheel over here.
Okay.
You'll be able to see it. Watch this. See that little wheel in there? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah. Okay. I think I can actually highlight you. Let me see if I can do this. Right. Spotlight video. There we go. Now, there you go.
Ooh. Oh, very cool.
Ooh, hey, this is something I learned.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
How's that shit?
Fancy.
Well done.
We may be in trouble.
Wow, look at that top.
Yeah, that's
look at that.
Crazy.
You can you know what? You guys can really see this now. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check out that neck angle. That's perfect.
Beautiful, man. That's great.
Perfect. And it plays in it. It sounds amazing. Sounds amazing.
Awesome.
And
now
we're just
how to put. Here we go. There we go. Now we're back to.
So in the and on another funny note, the only other thing we're really doing this bass is I'm experimenting with putting the covers on.
Wooden covers.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Wooden covers.
Nice.
And where is it? Hang on. Hold on a second. I gotta show you this.
I know where
LED sticks.
No kidding. Where are you putting those?
Yeah, we're gonna put them right here in the neck.
Nice. Wow. Wow.
This way you have
you are all in on this shit, yo.
Yeah, little dots over there.
Yeah. You are.
Well, you know what it is. I've had the experience to do a lot of theaters. Now, the clubs, you don't have the problem, but if you do a theater show, they shut the lights off in between songs, and you're like, where am I? And I mean, I have basses with the LEDs up here, but it's expensive. The whole thing of it is with this bass is to have all the options and playability and feel of a high profile bass and a high quality bass.
Yeah. And
God forbid, if you're doing a fly out somewhere and it gets lost and broken, you're not going to be screaming.
Yeah.
Going crazy.
One other thing on those, Les.
Yeah.
Hold up the bass again. The pickups. So guys, Tommy, Joey, what we did is we used 2 dual coil pickups. Yeah. So when you split it to single coil, you have like a J bass.
Yeah, those are the switches.
Okay.
So it's really, really, really versatile.
Wow.
Right. So, you've got a nice preamp in it. If you're in, you want that. Some people don't. Some people just like it straight. So you do a straight single coil, get a P bass sound.
Yep.
It's
basically you switch it. You can have either or. You can have the outside or both.
Wow,
And
that's awesome.
There's little things, guys. For instance, push pull, active passive. The bass is active when the push pull is down. So as soon as you're playing, and if it happens to the battery goes, or you want to get a traditional J sound, you go passive and you pull it out. You know?
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this, but we're really excited. It's called the Pinnacle, and we brought it to NAMM, Les and I, in January. People were trying to buy it, right? The guy from Earth, Wind and Fire was it, right, Les?
No. The studio session guy for Stevie Wonder, he was there. And he was like checking out the bass, and he's like, "I gotta have this. I'm not leaving here without this." And we see him like every other year. He's like, "I gotta buy this one." And I kept telling him the one we had there didn't even have the right bridge on that I liked, but he's like, "No, I gotta have it." He loved the way it looked.
So that bass, guys, 4-string, 5, and I am doing a 6-string version.
No
Wow.
Killer.
Awesome.
And there will be a couple of lefties. There's a couple of lefties because we'll be getting a lot of people asking for a lefty.
No, they're not. They just don't know how to use the camera on YouTube. That's it. Yeah.
All right, so
there's a whole lot of lefties out there now, aren't there?
That's my pet peeve now. Is everybody's a lefty?
I'm expanding the lefties. I'm expanding. All right, here's the new prototype that just came in Friday.
Wow.
This is the two-tone open pour.
Wow.
You can feel the wood grain, Tom.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so
that's
sweet.
finish too.
That's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Ready, guys? $3.99 street price.
Really? Wow.
How much?
$3.99. Well, the 4-string's $3.99. The 5-string's $4.19.
$4.19, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's a one-piece neck, but it plays good.
Yeah.
We don't have the wheel, but you don't need the wheel. It's adjustable up there. But you know, first seeing it in person, I looked at the finish. I'm like, it's great, and it plays good. I've been playing it for the last couple of days since I got it. Wow. Steve needs it back for pictures. He's have to get it out of my hand.
Volume, blend, treble and bass, cut and boost. That's your control setup. Push, pull, passive, active.
Yep.
Wow.
It's great stuff, man.
So now these are headed for production?
These are already, they're already, the POs are in. So I should see them September because I knew we were going to like the basses. I knew we needed a few tweaks, but I couldn't hold it up. I wanted them for that fourth quarter push, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Smart.
We put what we have coming in is the 4-string and the 5 that you just saw, the 5, and a 4 and 5 in, instead of that cherry black, a yellow black. It looks great.
Really?
I call it yellow blast. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
You know, Les, I should have got you the yellow one. It would have matched your head. You know?
Yeah. So the open pour is the closest one. That should be very momentarily going to take pictures. The Pinnacle, the one with the burl top, we have to actually take that bass, ship it to the factory because we kept going back and forth about a couple of different things, and in interpretation it didn't work right. And even at NAMM over dinner, we sat down with the factory and the engineers and talking to them, and what they sent us, it still wasn't right. So we're like, all right, listen, we took that bass. I even sat in Steve's office, we took it apart. So Steve said, "Let's take it home." So I took it home and angled the neck, angled the bridge, put everything right. I said, "It's done. It's perfect. Now we just have to wait for this stuff to clear up." And the factory is open, I think, second week in June. And then we're going to ship that bass to them and say, "Listen, copy this perfectly." Exactly.
We were at one of the, out in California, Anaheim, we're at the Italian restaurant, and on the napkins, we're drawing the pictures, you know? No bass, but it's exciting. It's exciting. And for Michael Kelly, believe it or not, 20 years ago, Michael Kelly first came on the scene, and their first instrument was that acoustic bass. Like, you know, guys like that big acoustic bass. Yeah. Then they did a mandolin, then they got into the guitars. And it's funny, electric basses, but only a couple of years, but it was more of a generic type of thing, you know. Right. So now that we came in, we kind of went through the product line, started selling through some of the models that they had, and now we're getting into this area, and we're excited because they're really great instruments for the money, you know.
Yeah. Well, the beautiful looking instruments, really are.
Hey, and
Excellent looking stuff.
if if Les is playing them, then they're the real deal.
Yeah.
There's the
absolutely.
endorsement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I'm excited about the Pinnacle one. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Both of them I am. Well, the other one I was telling Steve, because there's another band that we're going to be messing around with, a Joan Jett tribute. I said that could be the Joan Jett bass.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That could.
you gotta get a little vintagey. Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Things go.
That's
definitely.
exciting. I really enjoy. I enjoy this part of the business, the design, working with the factories. I mean, 4 nights a week, I'm on the phone with Korea, Indonesia, China all the time. And I still really have a passion for getting musicians instruments that they love to play. Because guitars are so personal because they're wood, and when something's wood, there's an intrinsic value than when something's not. And guitars more than any other instrument, guitars and basses, they're almost like family members, the passion people have for their instruments, And I love that I can do that I have the opportunity to design, sell, and help customers with their guitars that they love and keep, And the good thing for me is they buy a lot of guitars.
Yeah. Right?
That's
good.
that's the best
They
part.
keep you busy, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
But that comes from also being a player and knowing what players' needs and wants are going to be, and to collaborate with on the basis and everything is just, and being the only guy where it doesn't get lost in red tape if you were a bigger company. Oh, it's got to go to this person. It's got to go to that person. It just, you're the deciding factor, and then boom, it gets executed. This is why you're always coming out with different types of guitars, basses, acoustics. I mean, I always see, the posts on Facebook and go to the site, and like almost every week or every month, there's something new.
Well,
that's amazing.
We're very blessed because our biggest distribution channel is Sam Ash. We all love Sam Ash.
Yeah.
And working closely with the family and with their team, Richard Ash and Sammy Ash, I mean, I have the value of business for 90 some odd years in the music business to bounce ideas off of, to work on ideas and plans. And then, of course, Jack Knight is the CEO of Samson, which distributes Michael Kelly. He's a great bass player in his own right, Funk Philharmonic, Bernie Williams. He plays 4 strings. So there I was in my office. I had Les sitting over here with the 5 string. I had Jack over here with the 4 string. Ryan is a Prague guy, works for Samson with the 6 string. I was like, bass hell,
Yeah.
But I really like to reach out and speak to people, get their opinion, get the player's opinion, and this way I'm getting as much knowledge as I can, so we get the right instrument put together there. And it's a lot involved with these guitars and basses. I can't tell you, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's truly a great story, and wish you nothing but success with this, because I mean, the years running into you at Sam Ash and stuff, this is just a great thing. And again, like I said, it's a great story to have, the support of the Ash family doing it, right?
The best.
And great players, really interested and want to do this. I think it's amazing, and more power to both of you. So
it's funny you said about Sam Ash. When you're in one store in the front counter for 30 years, you have a high profile. Let's face that.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, I'm okay, but I ended up getting hit by a car one morning. A guy was speeding, and I was hurt, but they got me in the ambulance, and I'm on my way to Good Sam. So one of the medical attendants looks down at me. He goes, "Yo, you're the guitar guy. How much can I get a Gibson for?"
Isn't that true, right?
Oh, thank God I'm okay. But being in the business, like you guys are high profile, everyone here too. It's a lot of fun, and it makes your life joyful having music in your home and your relationships,
Right.
Dude,
Absolutely.
that is so true. I mean, the joy. You gave me chills, man. It's the joy of this. It's getting that right guitar. It's getting that guitar in the hands. It's being 15 years old and freaking seeing a Strat, and you're the guy who would hand it to him, right?
Right. But Tommy, one thing, you, Joey, Les, you're great world-class players. My life, listen to me, brother. My life got so much easier when I realized I sell them better than I play them. And,
I just can't sell, or else I'd probably be much better at that too. Trust me, I'm not that good.
Really, I just thought you were going to say I thought you were going to say you're sick of hearing Nirvana.
No. I've heard it all at the store. It's okay. And one other thing, guys, that's really interesting. I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
I don't want to put this the wrong way, but we had I don't want to say a lost decade, but we had a pullback decade when, we got into hip hop, a lot of the mixing, IM music, and that's cool, where it is and power to you. But the guitar took a little backseat then.
Yeah.
And thank the good Lord, the last, 7 years, 8 years, you look on TV, commercials for Cadillac, Led Zeppelin. You see these American Idol, everybody playing. And what do you see in every town, guys? School of Rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I see that the parents, now they're handing this down to the children. The children are discovering Aerosmith, Van Halen, Ozzy, and then the old guys, even guys like the Zeppelin guys, and the newer bands, Metallica, maybe newer for that genre. So it's so exciting that people like the School of Rock and these young kids, and they can play, because when we first learned, we put the record on Eruption,
Yeah.
We put the record on, the Ocean. Now they go on YouTube, and we do a lot of sponsoring, right, Len, for School of Rock, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of the kids, how well they play and the passion they have for it, and the parents are totally supportive and behind the kids playing. It's wonderful,
That's awesome. Again, the joy in handing that down. Yeah, and we did lose a few years, but man, the last few years, have been amazing as far as,
it just came roaring back.
Playing and guitar players and gigs and the availability of people at our level reaching out to people on YouTube, right? So, for example, Paul Gilbert will, do lessons right on there. Okay, so this week, we're going to go through this lick, right? And he'll just, go, do his thing.
Masterclass.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he'll go, and then he'll slow it down and show it to you, and he'll take questions. I mean, there's a great passion and joy right now, with playing, and God bless you, man.
And music, guys, whenever people get frustrated, I tell them, if you're a musician, you are always a student.
Always.
And you're always learning, always trying new things. That's the beauty of what we do, That's the
always
beauty.
learning.
Talk about we talk about passion. My mom, she was my best friend. She passed a while ago. But my mom says to me one day, she goes, Stevie, I know I'm going to heaven. I go, how do you know that's so bad? She goes, because I had a heavy metal band in my basement for 15 years. It's what we do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you.
I want to bring up one thing. Now, I've played with you two twice, and both times it was benefits. One of the benefits I was running. All right, I've done it for a couple of years, Contractors for Kids. Now, here's a quick story. Steve's not going to blow his own horn here, okay? And I'm going to do it for him.
Okay.
I'd seen them a few times, and we would sit around and we'd talk after your gig or between sets or whatever. We got along great, so this is a great time to have you on the show too, because you're a good talker. It's great. I love talking to you. But I had to benefit. And I had to fill the bill. All right, so I brought in my tribute band. I brought in my original band, and we were talking to the Beatles, and I'm like, yeah, let me ask Steve to come on, and any one of his bands to come on and be great. I'd love it. And not only did he come on, and I didn't ask for that, he offered, and he brought in a Michael Kelly guitar to just give to be part of the raffles. And he's not going to mention it, but I thought I should mention it, that this guy gives up shit all the time. Good guy. Thanks, Steve.
And it was the highest bid instrument. Or
Yeah,
prize,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know. I put in a bunch, and I didn't get the fucking thing. My wife's like, "Well, what are we putting money?" I just put all the tickets in for the guitar, all of them. In the guitar.
Well, I get some prototypes and things that we get, and we kind of put them on the side that we're very passionate about charities, and periodically when it's something good and we can help people, it's a good thing to do. It's good. It's not even a karma thing. It's just a right thing.
Yes.
It's just a right,
Yes.
right? It's just a right
Absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely.
It's a good,
You've always took care of us with the guitars when we were doing stuff at the bar.
a lot of fun. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. No question about it. And we do a lot of things, like I said, School of Rock. Sometimes we get kids who might have some health issues and things, and all kinds of things. But when it's just the right thing to do, because we're very blessed, all of us. We can play. We have people to play with. We have places to play. We have equipment to play with. Not a lot of people have the opportunities that we have, and music is a wonderful thing. Music brings so much joy and happiness to people's homes and lives and things. And to get guitars or basses, or if someone happens to play mandolin or whatever,
Right.
it gives them a lot. And also, it's good for them from a point like students learning. Like they learn. Some of these kids who start out on violin, the little 1/4 size, or on piano when they're 4 or 5 years old, and they translate to guitar. Math skills, discipline skills,
language, yeah.
Yep, and social skills.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A lot of fun. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, we've done a lot of talking. So, and I'm watching our time. So, Lenny, it's time for you to start your section. He's gonna.
Okay. This is, I guess we're going to call it Gear of the Week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go around asking everyone what piece of gear that they're fond of or hate or looking forward to or interested in. Do that each and every week. So, Steve, I'm going to start with you. And
All right. It's called Gear of the Week, right? Gear of the Week.
Yeah.
I have my Gear of the Week here.
Okay.
Not many people have seen this. It's a prototype.
All right.
Before
I'm
I
gonna do a
show
spotlight video on you, so I'll bring
It's
you up
over
to
here.
Yes.
It's over here. So I've been working on this with Randy from Zebra.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
Is that like your Patriot line?
Patriot
Yeah.
Yes.
hybrid.
Okay.
Okay? What a hybrid is, besides your standard pickups, with this switch, the Fishman acoustic pickup power bridge goes on.
Nice.
So you could have just your standard pickups with single coil if you like. Then you could blend them both, or you could have just an acoustic sound.
Wow.
Now with the jack, you can plug it into 1 amp and have those configurations, or you can use a stereo output and put your magnetic pickups into your amp as usual, and of course the power bridge Fishman right into the PA, and you can blend them right in there, and it's fantastic. The neck is as fast as lightning, ebony fingerboard, which I like.
Yeah.
Ebony board. These are Rockfield pickups, which I work with the factory GMB in Korea. They make them for us, and it's not that heavy. It's a great shape. The neck is a great fast neck, and everybody gets a chance to see this baby. There you go.
Wow.
Strings through the body. Yeah. And there's my gear for the week, you rock stars.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. Wow. He knows how to do this, and we didn't set this up.
Holy
When they
smokes.
came on, they had no idea we do this section, so this wasn't pre-planned. So
That was perfect.
I think Tommy and Joey, they want to buy one already. I can tell.
absolutely. What's the street on that?
$7.99, but it's not. It won't be out till Christmas time.
Okay.
And Randy's guitar, we're gonna have a Randy Jackson model.
Yeah.
Has a few more features wiring wise, and some special things he needed. And we're working on some graphics to have it like the zebra motif.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's hot.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's my
moving
gear of
over
the
right to
week.
Les.
Well, I would have to say the Pinnacle Burl is what I'm always excited about.
Right.
5.
Awesome.
Just want to get that thing out.
Yeah.
get that thing out. I mean, I'm upset that I'm going to have to ship it to the factory over in Korea. I'm going to lose it. Oh well, because I've done most of my online videos with that. So
Yeah, it's a beautiful, and your videos are great too. By the way,
thanks.
I'm going to put links to both Michael Kelly and to your webpage in the link below. So
cool.
please subscribe. And
Yeah.
I know I see you on YouTube also, Les. So I'll put a link to you also.
Yeah, or on my webpage, lesjansonbass.com.
Everything you're getting links
Yeah,
to
we
everything,
feel-
man.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I don't-
lesjanson.com. lesjanson.com. Keep it
Yep.
simple.
Yep. I actually had you when we were initially talking to you. I actually had your website up too. So I like to do
cool.
the split screen thing because my brain moves around too much. So
Cool.
all right. Tom?
Okay, Tommy.
Well, this week I finished part of my COVID a go-go tracks for Donnie. Finally, I'm not a great engineer of my own, trying to work everything around, but I did manage to do everything, and I did everything with my 18-watt Reinhardt, which is probably late 90s amp. It's 18 watts, handmade by this guy, Bob Reinhardt, who does not make amps anymore. And this was the amp he made before he did a great power scaling design. He's an engineer, and now he makes race cars, and that's all he does. But he answers emails if you send him something when you have questions. But it was fascinating to me to actually, being a pretty heavy Marshall guy. A lot of times, this is a little more subtle amp, and it takes pedals very well, but I played straight into it for the most part, and did all the tracks just by moving the gain around. And it is, if it were more than 18 watts, I think I would use it a lot more live, because it weighs 15 pounds, pound per watt. But it's a great amp. It's two channels that are separate, that I use an AB box for and blend too if I do use it live. And a lot of times, Bruno likes it because it's not loud.
Yeah.
So I've used that. I've used it on things where I've sat in with you, Joey, and stuff. It's the one that I bring for the other stuff, and it's a great go-to amp. And it doesn't weigh a ton. So it still, I'm fascinated. And Joey and I were talking about this. If you look behind him, he's got his stack of amps too. And any one of our amps that we plug into, we've realized are just really, really great sounding pieces of equipment. These beautiful tube amps and stuff. And I have a couple of modelers, and Joey has a couple of modelers, and they're great for sitting here. I mean, I use it during the show. I use a pod, and it sounds like it sounds the way it's supposed to on one of these shows. But if you're going to plug in an amp, go with a nice tube amp. But yeah, so this week is my Reinhardt.
Is it 6L6?
No, it's EL84 with a
beautiful.
With a tube rectifier. So I mean, the thing is just reactive. The one channel is just volume and tone. So that's just all the way up on that, because it's just straight AC/DC, and then the other one's got a preamp on it. That you can play with the gain structure a little bit, but if you need any more than that, you can just throw an OD pedal in front of it instead of even a distortion, and just get the thing to scream. So.
It's a great story when you talked about the EL34s. I was speaking to Eddie Ojeda, Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Eddie O. And we're talking about, just for tone, what's your favorite tone? Give me 3 bands that you just love their tone. And we're talking back and forth, and we settled on this. Listen to this. And don't forget, this is back in, I'd say, maybe about 92, 93, when they took a break then. And we settled on the Scorpions. We settled on Priest. Man, I mean, that chunks. And AC/DC, like you said. What's the one thing in common? Every band had EL34 Marshalls.
Yeah.
JC 800s, things like that. And the 34s, boy, they just take your breath away,
Yeah, it's an interesting tube, and I have a few different amps with different things.
3 behind me are all EL 30.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
I have,
30%.
I have a JCM with 6550s, which has so much headroom.
Right.
It's screaming loud. You know, the EL84s you can make them work a little bit harder and not tear your head off in a 50 watt. Now 100 watt, all bets are off, right?
Right.
You're just gonna crush it. And
When you were talking, I said to myself, that amp has EL34s. I knew it.
Yeah.
And Joey, I knew those were 34s.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't miss, right? And those are all. That's there's a 70s, an 80s, and a 90s there. So there's a running the gamut there. And that's
Steve, you still using your Marshalls?
Some of my Marshalls were destroyed in the Sandy storm. You know, but I'm lucky enough to meet Jim Marshall many times on 48th Street.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I says, Jim, listen, those cabinets, like they're just cabinets, but why do they sound the way they sound?
Yeah, that's fucked up, right?
Trade secret. He says.
Yeah,
that's really insane. You know, I've gotten some cabinets that look like it, don't sound like it. Look like it, don't sound like it.
Right.
It's such a delicate balance, the whole thing. Jim was a really good guy, and he used to enjoy having that pint, like when we go out to lunch,
Yep.
the real English thing.
God bless him.
Big and whistle on 47th Street,
Yeah.
That great guy, real genius, And back then, there wasn't a lot of stuff in there, but maybe that's why it sounded so good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Joey.
One quick funny story for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
On 48th Street, a guy once came in to buy a 100-watt super lead, back in the day, and he wanted one in a box, unopened. So I go down the basement, Sam Ash, there's a few of them. I grab one, bring it up, he bought it, and I noticed there was a box, another super lead head, but the box was open. A couple of days later, I go back down. I'm looking. I take the head out. Now it's missing the knobs and the front plate. Every day, someone was working in the store was robbing that until finally the box was empty.
It's like that Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time.
Unbelievable. They robbed it. I don't know how they got it out of there, but transformer tubes.
No kidding.
And I kept going down to catch the guy,
Yeah.
That was the best theft I've ever seen in Sam Ash my whole life. I got to tell you.
Wow.
Oh, one other quick amp story. You're going to love this. 1986, Twisted System, 85. Twisted's playing Radio City.
Okay.
The pinnacle.
Yeah.
MTV is out. We're not going to take it. It's through the roof. Okay? I'm so excited. I'm going there to work with the band, Leslie West goes to sound check. Eddie Ojeda had vintage 70s 3 heads. Mm-hmm. Leslie's a cool dude. You guys know. Went over, reamed the amps on full plate, blew out all 3 heads.
Wow, no kidding.
Eddie calls me up. There I am running from 48th Street to 51st Street with 3 Marshall 100 watts on a hand truck to get it to the damn show before they went in.
Shit. Wow.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's classic Leslie West. Just turn everything up.
Yeah, just
red line.
All the way.
I got to tell you guys, he was one of the best clinicians who comes into the store. Like a clinician that we ever had. He's really, you sit him down with a guitar and an amp, and the guy, and also he puts across the idea to the people watching, It was really, really good, Leslie, I got to say.
I remember as a kid, he was giving lessons. I mean,
was he? Okay, maybe that's why.
So it was there was a after Mountain, he was still playing. I mean, there was always playing the Beacon, or he's playing oh god, what was the place in Hempstead?
The Calderon.
Yeah, the Calderon. He was
Bitter End too. Bitter End he used to play over there
all the time, right?
Yeah.
But in between that, there was he was doing lessons, and he would write articles about it too. So there was in one of the Guitar Player magazine, he talked about it. He had this one student, and this is a great. He goes, he was having a problem with feedback. So what I did was I took the kid, I put him in a room with a Marshall cranked all the way up for a day, and he figured out how to not get not to have the guitar scream.
Wow.
And I'm like,
I have one for that for the bass player in the group here, Jack Bruce, right? Cream. So we do an in-store at Sam Ash. Nice. I don't know you guys remember, he had that liver transplant, all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Before he passed on. So anyway, he does the in-store, and it was great talking to him. So I said, hi, after the store left, I'm sitting with him. There he is, Jack. We're talking about the basis. He goes, Stevie, when I had my liver transplant, I was on a medical-induced coma for 4 days. I go, wow. I go, well, what happened? He goes, my wife brought in the boombox with all the Cream cassettes so I could hear it while I was in the. And I go, what happened? As soon as they brought me out of the induced coma, I said, shut that shit off. I can't take it.
I knew she hated me.
Wow. Wow. All right, so I'm going to tell you my piece of gear for the week. I'm going really simple this time. I was doing a recording. We're doing some acoustic version recordings, although I honestly didn't use an acoustic on this for some of the Grim Jack stuff that's coming out. We have a new album that's just about done, but we want to do some acoustic versions because we can do them in isolation. We're all sitting here doing our own shit. We even released a video for one of the tunes, so we're working on the second one, and I didn't want to just play the same rhythm I had been doing. So the old trick is make it sound a little different. Use a capo. So I put a capo on, and it just changed the entire feel of the song. And I was playing something and I made a mistake, but I went back and I listened to it, and I'm like, holy fuck, that sounds great. It was just a different. It wasn't so much a mistake. It was just a different fingering on a chord, and it just opened up, this chord in there, and now and we just love the way it sounds on it. So, sometimes if you're working on something, especially if you're the second guitar or first guitar, it doesn't matter which, just, well, man, it's a little simple fucking $3 piece,
Sure.
And it, wow, I use all types of slides, capos. I love trying different shit, It just gives you a different outlook on something, sometimes. So
it's cool, man.
Don't forget to do that.
I have a quick Grimjack question.
Yeah.
How long has the band been around?
Oh my
since
God.
the Titanic went down.
We opened up for Mountain at Woodstock, didn't we?
Actually, yeah. Actually, Tommy wasn't in it. The guitars either.
Probably 82 was the first iteration, but I mean, we'll have to have Jim on because he's still alive and has somewhat of his
band historian.
I'm gonna say about 35 years.
Reason why I ask is because it's got us. I was in a band called Zeus, and we played the Stage Door. We had the Thursday night gig. Vixen had Wednesday. We had Thursday.
Yeah.
And there was one of the nights that I forget the guy that was the manager there, but anyway, he Grimjack played there. I remember we did the gig together. It was the first time I heard of you guys. You had the cassette tape. You threw it out to the crowd and stuff.
Wow.
But and that's back that was I think 1980, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys have been around a while.
Did you guys play at February's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They did. I didn't.
I mean, that's where I saw you guys play back then. I'll never forget. Remember the owner, Gasper,
Yeah.
And I remember, Gasper unfortunately passed away, but I know when he got up to St. Peter, it feels you want to get in. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Hey, no, I don't care who you know.
Yeah.
Right, $10,
And it's, I think, less. That reminds. I wasn't in Grimjack, obviously, back in the '80s. I was in LA for about 10 years or so, but I was in a band called Invasion. So I think that we may have played with you. Way back
That sounds
then.
very familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Paul Dutiel, Buzz, a bunch of those. We all were in bands back then, so we've all done that. All right, so let's go to the next section. Unless Lenny, do you have?
Wait. Can I do one more for Lenny? Gear of the week.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, real
Absolutely.
quick.
Yes, sir.
It's worth it because it's a story for less. I'm at Sam Ash. Who comes in? John Paul Jones.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
John Paul Jones. It's when Zeppelin released the box set. So
Okay.
I'm shocked. If you look on my Facebook page, you'll see pictures of me with. So I said to him the question that I ask a lot of guys, which I will ask you guys at some point one day, one with the other. Was there ever a piece of gear that you wish you still had that you don't have for any reason?
So many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do a whole show on
Right.
Yeah.
So,
it would have a lot of tears. I'll tell you that.
right. So I
Yeah,
asked
there's
John
so
Paul
much
Jones.
gear.
I asked John Paul Jones. That's what he tells me.
What?
I'm thinking maybe a bass, maybe a J bass, something. He goes, there's one that I wish I had. What? My acoustic 360 bass rig. If you remember, the power amp was in the cabinet. The big acoustics.
Yeah.
And I go, what happened? He goes, I finally got an endorsement. We're playing our first show in England. At the end of the show, they caught fire. And he goes, fire. And he goes, the next day, the newspaper said, Led Zeppelin unleashes pyrotechnique show. So that which gear you wish you had,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Len, do you have a piece of gear this week or no?
No, not.
So we're going to go into the next section. Now, the guests always kind of give us this look when we go to this section. This is the fuck you section. All right. So generally, me and Tommy this, and then we let you guys, so you get to see what we're doing. So the fuck you section is actually a compliment. So we're gonna start with who's over here. Go ahead, Tommy. Who is your fuck you this
All right,
week?
so I let you know this week, and every once in a while I'll throw the music on just random, just see what comes up, whatever mix, and a couple of live tracks came up from later Motley Crue, and goddamn, if Mick Mars isn't spot on in every single thing he does in his tone, and considering the fact that they had been pretty much pariahs forever, he maybe because he can't move anymore, he can just sit there and nail every single thing, play melodically, throw a slide on, do a quick lick, swing it back, and make that band sound good.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed. His live sound was just killer.
Yep.
I don't know what he's probably had since he was 25, when he was 50 years ago. So Mick Mars is my fuck you this week, man, because who's been doing what he's been doing for a long time, and still, like you said, continue to learn, continue to grow, and get better. That's
Right.
fascinating. So fuck
Wow.
him.
Awesome.
Joey, what do you got, man?
So it's funny is I met Mick at Red Roads. That's where he used to get his amps done, and he was a nice guy, actually. But yeah, probably not known for. Yeah, we talk a lot of times about different guys and their tones and how good they are, and I think Mick gets overlooked a lot of times. So that's a good one. Mine is, I was thinking about it. I got my there, and the one with the small letters is my 74. And the reason I got that, besides last week my fuck you was Dave Menichetti, the other one who used those same amps, and I have to say it's my favorite guitar tone, and most people wouldn't this album, is Def Leppard's High and Dry. I love the guitar. Did it come back on? I think it's coming back on. Give it a second. Okay, yeah, we're back.
Here it comes.
Yep, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna pass it over to. I always gotta do this. Pass it over to Lenny. Who's the fuck you for this week?
My FU this week is going to go to Dan Huff of Giant.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know who he is, but just a melodic, crazy shredder, but knows when to tone it down. And, just a lot of the things he does, his phrasing and his control over all those songs.
Yeah.
I just listen to him and I go, how that, Dan, what the hell is he doing there? Just amazing stuff. I've heard of him.
Dude,
but
yeah.
He's gone on to do like a lot of session work, Nashville work with
Nashville guy now.
Guitars for Faith Hill, but just an all-around thing, a joy to listen to.
And he could smoke a lot of people in Nashville, and that is not a fucking
hard to do.
thing.
Yeah,
I mean he does all the work with Keith Urban too.
And he's that guy.
And Keith doesn't suck, but is just another level guy.
Yeah.
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 So-
I should not be playing a guitar. They should call it something else compared to what he's playing, because that's
compared to what he does.
yeah. I should not even.
Yeah.
I will never go to Nashville because I don't want to be the worst guitar player in Nashville. You know?
I don't want to be a waiter again. So
Yeah. So, all right. Let's throw it over to Les. Who you gonna fuck you to?
Oh, real simple. Well, if I have to say an FU and it means a good thing, Doug Pinnett from King's X.
my
Underrated.
God.
Yeah.
Player's underrated.
Yeah, fuck him.
Love that guy. And a really super nice guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
he is. I mean, and them, when I see him there, I say hello. He's great to talk to, but yeah, his tone is awesome. Play is awesome. I mean, Billy Sheen's technique, I have it all for Doug Pinnett.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think I can hear my wife screaming upstairs that she loves Doug.
He loves to-
She's like, yeah, somebody else loves him. But yeah.
I have, wait a second, I have where is it?
Yeah,
There it is.
yeah, the Doug Pinnett.
Nice.
Yeah. Excellent. We had 2 years ago around Christmas time, he was selling handwritten lyrics.
I
So
bought one.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah,
I
I
bought
got
it for my wife. I didn't tell her, so I have it all framed and everything. What a super nice
You got it on
guy,
the black,
man.
the black.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That was cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
It was
saw
great.
that and I hopped right on it.
Yeah, me too. Super fanboy. I'm
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
All right,
What is-
Steve, you got to tell
Okay.
us who
Well,
we're going to fuck you.
It's a little out to left field, but
That's
keeping
right.
with the three, and I believe this deserves a mention because not many people can make a point to say they're the best at what they did, the best. So I'm going to give you to Neil Peart from Rush. He's no longer with us, but the guy was.
Oh my God.
You can say he was the best rock drummer that ever lived. So
Yeah.
that's my FU.
Absolutely. That was a really good one. I had to, unfortunately, a friend of mine, so I actually had to drive out there. I couldn't even afford the fucking plane ticket to go back and forth. And I heard Pete Thorne was talking about that week that Neil had passed. And he was talking about one of Neil's books. So I got it on audio tape to listen and going out there and back. And wow, great book, man. So if you get a chance, I can't remember the title of it right now.
Ghost Rider.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic read, man. Fantastic
He
read.
did a great job with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
And from what I
Fantastic.
hear, he was a real funny guy. Really great sense of humor.
Yeah, all those guys in Rush were hysterical, man.
Oh, yeah.
For
The
those
Canadian-
guys being so and really they were all fantastic at their instruments. I mean,
Guys,
fuck
I was
Geddy.
reading.
God
I was
damn.
reading about Rush. This pertains to all us band members. They were saying because we're all been down. We haven't been rehearsing.
Yeah.
And when Rush would be off like we're off, they said when they would get back together, they sounded terrible. The second night rehearsal, they sounded like a bad Rush cover band. The third night, they sounded like Rush.
Yeah, they are all funny. Well, listen, guys, really, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
So
what
good.
a great time we had. I mean, you guys know how to talk, and you know how to talk about your instruments, Really, I really enjoyed this. I sincerely hope we do this again. And I know we did talk. We are going to go out to the office and check it
My
out.
office.
Once we're all allowed to get together, we're definitely going to go there and we'll talk about your stuff there. All right.
Absolutely.
But in the meantime, where can people learn more about Michael Kelly guitars? You have a Facebook page, website, and all that?
Yeah, Joey will pop on the link. It's michaelkellyguitars.com. Also, like Smash has 48 stores. We have the same many independent dealers, a new major online dealer in about a month or so. And of course, in Europe, all over the place. We have them in South America, in
Australia,
in Thailand, in Taiwan. We have them everywhere. And I got to tell you that the really great thing is when I get these guitars to these dealers is a few weeks later, the next order comes in. It's unbelievable. So it's exciting because I like building, like you guys. We build songs. We build brand awareness with our bands, with our bars and restaurants. With building a brand is very rewarding, just like building a song. It's a rewarding thing to do. That's what we do, right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Well said,
absolutely.
man.
Great. And Les, you're also in the Journey band Evolution, correct?
Yeah, in a few of them. that version's been quiet. I've been doing some fill-in stuff with Voyage when
Okay.
Greg Smith's on the road with Nugent and his other stuff.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy, so I those guys in the past. It was mostly Evolution back then, but yeah, I'm doing stuff with Voyage now. Bunch of other people, just keep them busy.
Yeah, if you're a good bass player, and I know you are, you can. I mean, I started out on bass because nobody needed. I was a drummer. Nobody needed.
Right,
a
you were saying,
drummer
yeah.
at the time.
No one needs
so
a
I was bass player for a long time, and then believe it or not, somebody needed a guitar player. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm your guy. And I started doing that. So
I was the other way around. I was the guitar player, and the bass player didn't come to one of the gigs, so I switched over, and that was it. They're like, you're staying on the bass.
yeah,
I'm like, all right.
exactly, right. So thanks a lot, guys. We are gonna end the cast. All right.
But don't forget, everybody, subscribe. If you're
Subscribe
watching the show, subscribe.
and go buy some Michael Kelly guitars.
Buy some stuff. There're going to be links on the website, on the YouTube channel to talk about that. Mike Kelly guitars,
Yeah.
awesome. We're going also just the links for some of the funds for the road crews that are need some attention right now, and also Joe Bonamassa's thing with gas for gigs and stuff like that. There's a few things we have going on down there. Again, reach out to us, message us on the YouTube thing. We always respond, and love to hear from you. Thanks.
Yep.
Great show, guys.
got
Steve, Les, awesome. Lenny, always.
Really honored.